settle in. The air is cooling now, though the day has been hot, and your long limbs are heavy with the dust of walking. You lower yourself near the edge of the brush, where the ground slopes gently toward a scatter of stones and thorny shrubs. The sun is slipping low behind the horizon, a molten red disk settling into the ridges of the Rift Valley. A faint wind moves across the tall grass, carrying the smell of earth that has baked all day under the heat. You breathe deeply, chest rising and falling in a rhythm older than memory. Your nostrils fill with the sharp scent of acacia bark, dry and faintly bitter, and you sense the air thinning as night approaches. The heat fades, but not the watchfulness. You let your eyes rest on the open plain beyond, a vast expanse where golden grasses ripple like water, broken by clusters of dark trees, where shadows deepen with every minute. Your body settles, but your ears stay awake. The savanna is never silent. The cry of a bird cuts the air, a harsh shriek followed by silence. In the distance, a rustle in the brush suggests the slow tread of something heavy. You do not turn toward it yet. You listen first, letting the air carry sound to you. For as long as you have lived, the balance of life has been measured in listening. The difference between predator and prey, between calm and sudden death. You reach down and feel the edge of a stone flake in your palm. Its surface is sharp, chipped by deliberate strikes earlier in the day. These flakes are simple, yet they change everything. You did not pull them from the earth as they were. You broke them apart with your own hands, struck stone against stone, until the shards split into blades fine enough to slice hide, to scrape marrow from bone, to cut meat into pieces small enough to chew. The flakes are heavy with promise and with necessity, for in this land survival depends not just on teeth and strength, but on what you can make. The great Rift Valley stretches around you, a wound in the earth carved by shifting plates filled with lakes, rivers, open grassland, and forest edges. It is a place of change, where the land itself is restless. Sometimes the rains come heavy and the air grows lush, wet, and full of insects. Other times, long seasons of dry leave the ground cracked, animals moving farther in search of water, and you following them. This rhythm, wet, then dry, then wet again, shapes every step you take. To live here is to move, always adapting to the turning of the land. Tonight, you move less. Tonight, you wait. Around you, the group has begun to settle. They are not far. A small cluster of tall shapes crouching among the shrubs, shadows flickering as the light fades. You hear the scrape of stone against stone as another pair of hands chips away at a core, coaxing more flakes into being. A low cough echoes, then quiet. You are not alone, though you are not many. Fewer than a dozen walk with you now, their faces familiar, their movements woven into your own sense of being. You do not name them, as one day others will name each other. But you know them. Their smells, their steps, the way they breathe when weary or afraid. Your hands rest on your knees, and you feel the texture of skin stretched tight from long days beneath the sun. You glance upward. The first stars are appearing, faint glimmers, then brighter ones. The sky above the valley is vast, so much larger than your small shape beneath it, and you feel the quiet pull of its depth. You do not understand the stars, but you feel their pattern, the way they mark the seasons of wet and dry, of heat and cold. You have walked beneath them all your life. A faint crack of sound draws your attention. You turn your head sharply, eyes straining in the dimming light. There, movement at the far edge of the plain. Shapes low to the ground, sinewed and silent. Lions. You know them by the way they move, the faint glimmer of eyes catching the last light. They are distant now, but distance can vanish quickly. You grip the stone flake tighter in your hand, your body stiffening, even as you remain still. The lions do not come closer. Not yet. They melt into the grass, patient as the night itself. You exhale, though the tension remains in your chest. Around you, the others have stilled too. A mother pulls her young one closer, tucking the small body against her side. Waiting becomes the evening's work. You think of fire. You have seen it once. A tree split by lightning, the branches aflame, smoke curling into the sky. The smell was thick, sharp, overwhelming. You and the others had watched from a distance, not daring to approach, but unable to look away. Fire has not yet been brought into your hands, not here, not now, but the memory of it lingers, as though the earth itself once whispered a secret you are not yet ready to hold. For now, the night means darkness. The temperature drops. The warmth of the day slips away quickly, and cool air creeps across the valley. Gooseflesh rises along your arms, and you pull your limbs tighter, wrapping them around yourself. The texture of your skin is rough with dust, your feet hardened from endless walking over stone and grass. You shift slightly on the ground, feeling the press of pebbles against bone. The smells of the evening deepen dry grass, animal dung, the faint sweetness of blossoms carried on the wind. Somewhere, water lies nearby, a lake, still and dark, its surface reflecting the rising moon. You have walked its edges before, gathering reeds, watching the birds dive. Water is life, but it is also danger. Crocodiles wait in silence just below the surface. Tonight, you will not go to the lake. Tonight, you stay close to the brush, watching, listening, breathing. Your mind drifts. You remember the day just past, the long walk along the ridge, stones crunching beneath your feet, the sun pressing heavy on your back. You remember the hollow ache in your stomach, the sweetness of the marrow, pulled from a fallen antelope's bone, cracked open with stones. You remember the taste, rich, oily, filling. The hunger eased, if only for a while. Every day is measured in hunger and its relief, thirst and its quenching. And yet, every day holds something else. Movement change. You notice the land itself is never the same. Sometimes the grasses grow thick and tall, filled with herds of zebra and gazelle. Sometimes they vanish, leaving only bare soil and scattered bones. You have walked through both. You have survived both. This is the Rift Valley. A place of beginnings and endings, of testing and learning. A place where even now, in ways you do not yet know, something inside you is changing. You close your eyes briefly, listening again. The night is fuller now, crickets chirping, the distant grunt of hippos by the water, the occasional shriek of a hyena cutting across the dark. The sounds are not frightening, not yet. They are reminders of where you are, of what shares this land with you. You open your eyes once more. The stars have multiplied, a scatter of brilliant points across the black sky. They feel endless. You cannot name them, cannot count them, but you feel their pull nonetheless. The sky is a ceiling you live beneath, as constant as the earth you walk upon. The others are quiet now, some lying down, their bodies curled, their breathing softening into the rhythm of rest. You remain seated, alert, waiting. You think of tomorrow, though not in the way that will one day mean calendars or years. You think only of the next rising sun, of where the animals will move, of where water might be found. Of the tools you will shape from stone, tools that make survival just a little more possible. The night deepens, the lions stay distant, the air grows colder still. Your muscles relax little by little, though your hand never lets go of the stone flake. You press its edge against your thumb, feeling the sharpness, the potential. It is your comfort as much as your weapon. And so you wait. The wind carries the scent of dust and grass. The stars shine with their quiet fire. The earth holds you in its vastness. You are small, but you endure. You settle your body, eyes heavy now. Around you, your group breathes together, a circle of life in the wide valley of beginnings. You are not yet the humans who will come later, who will carve symbols, build fire, cross oceans. But already, something in you reaches forward, stretching into the dark, listening for what comes next. The night will pass, the sun will rise, and softly, quietly, you rest. Morning comes with a pale wash of light over the Rift Valley, slow and soft at first, then sharp and golden. The air is cold against your skin when you wake. Dew clings to the grasses, carrying the faint scent of wet earth. You rise stiffly, unfolding long limbs, rubbing dust from your arms. Around you, others stir as well. Low grunts, the shuffle of feet, the rustle of dry leaves. Your stomach pulls you awake more than the light. The ache is familiar, an emptiness that has lived inside you longer than you can measure. Hunger is a constant here. It shapes your choices, your movement, your very breath. Today the ache is sharper than usual. You press a hand to your belly and glance outward toward the plain, already searching. The land looks the same at first glance, rolling grasses, thorny acacia, the shimmer of heat that will rise as the day stretches. But something is different. The herds that sometimes dot the valley are absent this morning. No zebra stripes flicker in the grass, no wildebeest lowing in the distance. The ground feels bare. You walk a short distance from the group, eyes scanning, nose lifted. The air carries only the faintest trace of dung, old, dry days gone. The herds have moved on. You know what that means. The land is changing again. This has always been the way. The climate shifts, sometimes wet and heavy with rain, filling lakes and streams, swelling plants until they burst green across the land. Other times, like now, the air dries, the grass is thin, the herds drift farther, searching for water and food. It is not new, but each change demands something from you. Mobility, flexibility, endurance. You kneel and touch the earth. It is cracked in places, the soil pale, powdery. The season is turning, and with it, the patterns of survival. Behind you, voices low, guttural sounds. Not words as they will one day become, but calls of recognition, of concern. One of the older males rises and gestures toward the horizon with a sweep of his arm. He has walked these shifts before, knows the rhythm of absence and return. His movement says enough, you will follow the herds. You must. But the leaving will not be simple. Your tools are few. You reach again for the flakes you chipped yesterday. The edges still sharp, though they dull quickly with use. Nearby, one of the younger females strikes stone against stone, chipping away clumsily, sending shards scattering. The sound is bright, sharp, echoing across the still morning air. Each spark of stone on stone feels like an answer to hunger. With these edges, you carve a path into the day. The group begins to gather itself, shifting, stretching, preparing for the walk. There is no rush, but there is no delay either. Time is measured not by hours, but by need. And the need is clear. As you begin to move, you think of the water. The lake lies behind you, and though it has given fish and reeds, it also brings danger. Crocodiles, hippos, lions waiting for prey at the edges. Without the herds to track, the water would be your lifeline. But water alone is not enough. Meat, marrow, fat. These are what keep your bones strong, your mind sharp. Without them, you weaken. So you turn your back on the still surface of the lake and step into the wide grasslands. The sun climbs higher. The air warms, the cool dampness of dawn burning away into heat. Dust rises with every step, coating your feet, your legs. The smell of dry grass fills your nose, sharp and brittle. Hours pass. The ache in your stomach deepens. You remember meals of marrow cracked fresh from bone, the sweet taste of roasted tubers dug from the earth, the oily richness of brains eaten raw. Today you have none of these. Today you walk. The Rift Valley stretches long before you, a corridor of life and stone. The escarpments rise in the distance, sheer cliffs marking the edges of this world. You have crossed these ridges before, carrying stone tools in your hands, moving between forest and plain, woodland and water. Each place offers something: shade, fruit, roots, animals to chase. None offers everything. To survive is to move again and again, adjusting to the rhythm of the land. By midday the heat is thick and heavy. Your skin gleams with sweat, salt stinging your eyes. Flies gather at the corners of your mouth, buzzing, persistent. You swipe at them with the back of your hand, leaving streaks of dust. The sound of buzzing lingers, even when they scatter. It is then that you notice something on the wind. Not the smell of grass, not the dry earth, but something sharper, richer. Smoke. You stop, lifting your head. The others pause behind you, restless, murmuring low sounds. The scent is faint, carried from far, but you know it. You have smelled it before, after the storm, when lightning split a tree and left it burning. Smoke, the signal of fire. Your chest tightens. Fire is dangerous, yet it calls you closer. It changes the land around it, makes animals scatter, leaves charred remains behind. Sometimes it opens the way to food. Bones cracked open by heat, seeds roasted where they fell. You are drawn to it, though it frightens you. The group murmurs again. Some look uneasy, shifting their weight, glancing toward the horizon. Others seem curious, their nostrils flaring as they catch the same trace on the air. Fire is not yours to command, not yet. But already, it is shaping the way you think, the way you move. It sparks not only the grass, but something within you. You continue walking. The smoke fades as the wind shifts, but the memory of it remains, lingering as hunger presses on. You carry the thought with you, the way you carry the stone flakes in your hand, something sharp, something waiting. By late afternoon, the ground changes. The grasses grow thinner, replaced by patches of bare earth. The air grows hotter still, pressing against your skin, drying your throat. The group slows. One of the younger ones stumbles, sitting abruptly, refusing to rise. A mother crouches beside the child, stroking their hair, murmuring soft sounds. For a moment, you all pause, breathing heavy, eyes searching the horizon. And then you see them, far off, a shimmer of movement, dark shapes against the pale grass. Not predators, not this time. Prey, a herd of antelope, grazing at the edge of a slope. Relief floods your chest, though hunger keeps you tense. The spark of urgency sharpens into purpose. You grip your stone flake tighter. The hunt will not be easy. It never is. You have no spears, no bows, no nets. You have only your legs, your tools, your patience. Persistence hunting, the elders know, is a game of time and endurance. You run, you chase, you drive the animal until its body fails before yours does. You have done it before. You will do it again. The group begins to stir, eyes fixed, breath quickening. Hunger has found its answer, but only if you can claim it. The spark of change burns quietly inside you. The land is shifting, the herds are moving, fire calls from the horizon, and your stomach demands more than roots and berries. Something deeper is awake now, pressing you forward. Evening will come again, but it will not be like the last. The sun slips lower, shadows lengthening across the valley floor. The herd of antelope still grazes at the edge of the slope, heads dipping, tails flicking. Their bodies move with practiced caution, always aware of lions that stalk the grass, always ready to scatter. You and your group watch them from a distance, breath quiet, bodies tense. Hunger tightens in your belly, but so too does hesitation. You know what must be done. You have chased before, your long legs carrying you across the plain until sweat ran like water, until the animal stumbled, its body failing in the heat. You know the rhythm of it. The panting of your chest, the pounding of feet against dust, the sting of grit in your throat. But it is never certain. It takes strength, it takes time, it takes risk. Behind you murmurs rise, low sounds, almost growls. Not words, but the meaning is clear enough. Some do not want to chase. Some shift uneasily, glancing at the horizon where the sky is bruised with approaching dusk. Lions hunt at this hour. Hyenas too. To chase is to leave yourselves exposed, spread thin across the plain, far from the brush where you can hide. One of the older females sits abruptly, shaking her head, her arms pulled tight across her chest. Her face is set, her gaze fixed on the ground as if to refuse what lies ahead. Beside her, a younger male stamps the earth with his foot, sharp and quick, his sound carrying protest. You watch them, heart thudding. They are not wrong. The chase could fail. The night could fall before you return. The memory of yesterday's lions flickers in your mind, their eyes glinting in the tall grass, their patience unbroken. You picture their silent steps, their sudden rush. To run after prey is to risk becoming prey yourself. You grip your stone flake tighter, its sharpness grounding you. The leader, older, broad-shouldered, his hair streaked with dust, rises slowly. His gaze sweeps the group, then fixes on the herd. His breath rumbles low, chest vibrating. He does not gesture yet, does not command, but his presence alone stills some of the unease. He has chased before, brought marrow to the young, meat to the weary. His body carries the memory of survival, and you trust it. But not all are convinced. The mother with the small child pulls her young one close, shaking her head again. Her sound is soft but insistent, a note of warning. She does not want to move into the open plain. Her fear is real as your hunger. You look at the child, wide eyes, ribs showing faintly beneath the skin. Hunger lives in that small body too, though fear shapes the mother's choice. You feel torn between them, between safety and need. Inside yourself, doubt rises. Your legs ache from the day's walking. Your mouth is dry, your heart already weary. Can you endure the chase? Can you outlast the antelope, your body pushing through heat and dust until there's collapses? You remember past hunts, the thrill of success, the taste of marrow, but also the emptiness when you failed. Long days of hunger that followed, bellies tight with nothing but roots and bitter leaves. The sky darkens further. The smell of smoke drifts faint again on the wind, distant fire, unseen. It stirs something inside you, but also unsettles the group. Some glance upward, nostrils flaring, unease etched in their movements. Fire is not yours, not yet. It belongs to the sky, to the storms, to the earth itself. To chase prey while fire lingers nearby feels like tempting both dangers at once. The leader steps forward at last. He lifts his arm, points toward the herd, then slaps his chest with a sharp sound. It is not a command, not as words will one day be, but it is resolve, a choice made. He will chase. He cannot do it alone. The group shifts. Some rise reluctantly, others follow with more ease. The mother stays crouched, child clutched against her, her face set in refusal. The old female remains seated too, shaking her head. Not all will go, not all must, your body wavers. The stone flake is hot in your hand, warmed by the sun, slick with sweat. Hunger whispers that you must move, that marrow and meat wait only if you endure. But fear whispers too, of lions, of darkness, of failure. The group divides, a fracture in the evening. Those willing to chase step forward, their breathing quick, eyes fixed on the herd. Those unwilling remain behind, shrinking into the brush, pulling close to one another. You stand between them, heart pounding. Your own voice emerges, low and guttural. A sound not yet word, but filled with meaning. Hesitation, longing, fear. The others glance at you. You feel their eyes, their weight, their expectation. The choice presses heavy. For a moment, you do nothing. You watch the antelope flick their ears, tails twitching, bodies poised to bolt at any sound. You watch the lions that might be waiting, unseen, their patience endless. You feel the earth beneath your feet, the cracked soil, the dry dust. You smell the smoke on the breeze. You feel the ache in your belly, push and pull, hunger against fear, movement against stillness. At last you step forward, slowly, but forward. The leader's gaze flicks to you, steady, approving. A rumble of sound passes from his chest, not triumph, but acknowledgement. The others who will chase shift too, their decision solidifying. The pushback is not gone. The fear remains. The resistance lingers in those who stay behind. But the choice is made. The herd grazes still, unaware. The sun dips lower. The air cools, the shadows stretch. The chase waits, just beyond the hesitation. You close your fingers tight around the flake of stone. Its edge bites lightly into your skin. The sharpness feels like resolve. The waiting is over. The moving begins. The last light of the sun stretches across the rift valley, long and low, staining the grasses in hues of gold and shadow. The herd of antelope has begun to drift, restless with the scent of watchers nearby. Their ears twitch, their heads rise and fall, legs tensing as if the very earth beneath them could shatter into flight at any moment. Behind you, the group remains divided. The mother sits rooted, clutching her child. The older female stays hunched, face turned down, eyes half closed, her body refusing the effort that the chase demands. Those who stand with the leader shift their weight forward, muscles readying, eyes alert. They breathe faster, not with fear alone, but with the body's memory of the run to come. You stand between stillness and movement, breath caught in your chest. The air cools further, dry and sharp against your skin. The smell of dust and animal lingers, mingling faintly with the smoke carried from far away. It unsettles you, this drifting scent of something powerful yet untouchable. But it also sharpens your awareness. The land itself feels restless, as if urging you forward. You glance down at your hand. The stone flake gleams faintly in the fading light, its chipped edge glinting. You run your thumb along its side, feeling the sharpness bite lightly into your skin. This tool is nothing more than a fragment of rock, and yet it carries within it the work of your hands, the thought that shaped it. It is more than stone. It is choice. Your belly aches again. Hunger is not loud, but it is steady gnawing. It reminds you of the last chase that failed, the long days afterward filled only with bitter roots, your body growing weaker, your steps slower. Hunger does not wait. Hunger demands. You look again at the herd. Their bodies ripple as they shift, alert to danger unseen. They are faster than you, but they are not endless. They tire. Their bodies burn with the same heat as yours. Their lungs ache, their legs stumble. You have learned this truth before. Endurance belongs to you. Not to claws, not to teeth, but to your persistence. The doubt does not leave, but resolve begins to settle beneath it. You know the risks. Lions in the grass, night falling too soon, the chance of failure. Yet you know too the emptiness that waits if you remain behind. The choice is not between danger and safety. It is between danger and hunger. Your feet shift forward, slowly, steadily. The earth feels firm beneath them, cracked soil rough against your callosed skin. The leader's gaze finds you steady and dark, his chest rising with a low sound. Approval, not command. Others shift too, their hesitation thinning in the face of your movement. The group is never one mind, never fully united, but small choices ripple outward. You feel their presence near you, the weight of bodies that will run beside you, breath to breath, step to step. Not all, but enough. You lift your head. The sky above deepens into twilight, stars beginning to pierce the darkening blue. They look cold, endless, but they do not frighten you. They are the ceiling you have always lived beneath. The air cools further, the temperature dropping fast as the sun sinks. The chill sharpens your senses, steadies your body. You inhale deeply. The smell of grass, dust, smoke, sweat, all of it settles in your chest. You exhale slowly, feeling your muscles loosen, your mind still. The decision is not loud, not sudden. It is a quiet shift inside, a turning toward movement that feels inevitable. The herd edges farther, their bodies angled away. The leader steps forward now, his shoulders rolling with purpose. He does not look back, but you know he feels you behind him. Others follow. The decision is sealed not in words, but in motion. You walk forward too. One step, then another. The chase has not yet begun, but already you are moving, already you are part of it. Behind you, the mother whispers soft sounds into her child's hair. The old female closes her eyes, curling tighter into herself. They will wait, hidden in the brush, their safety chosen in stillness. But you will run. Your hand tightens once more on the stone flake. The edge presses deeper into your palm, leaving a shallow line. You welcome the sting. It roots you in the moment. It carries the weight of your choice. As the last of the light drains from the horizon, you press the stone to your chest, feeling its cool surface against your skin. It is sharp. It is fragile. It is yours. The decision is made. You wake before the first light, when the air is still cool and the grasses are wet with dew. Your breath curls in faint clouds, rising and vanishing into the silence. The others stir around you, shapes shifting in the half-dark. For a moment, there is only the rustle of bodies, the faint murmur of a child pressing against its mother. Before the run, there must be preparation. You know this as much as you know the feel of your own heartbeat. To chase without tools is to meet hunger with empty hands. You squat near the scatter of stones collected the day before. They lie dull in the shadow, gray and rough. Yet within them are the edges you need. You lift one, weighing it in your palm, the surface cool and grainy. Another stone harder serves as your hammer. You strike sharp, deliberate blows that echo faintly through the still morning. Each flake that breaks free gleams sharper than a thorn, the edges glinting like water under sun. Some will cut flesh, others will scrape hide, still others will shape wood into points. These are the gifts of stone. You line them in the dust, a small row of teeth waiting to be used. An older male crouches beside you. His hair is streaked with ash gray, his face mapped with lines. He watches your movements, his eyes narrow but steady. He does not speak, but when you lift a flake too thin, too brittle, he takes it gently from your hand, turning it to show its weakness. With a small shake of his head, he sets it aside. Then he selects another core, strikes with practiced rhythm, and hands you the new blade. The gesture is clear, strong edges, not fragile ones. You nod, though no words pass between you. His lessons are not carried in sound, but in movement. In the weight of his hands, the memory of countless hunts survived. Nearby, another pair tends to the water. They scoop from a shallow stream into dried gourds, their surfaces stained dark with use. The gourds will not last forever, but they will hold enough for the first stretch. You know the cost of thirst, the tongue swelling, the legs weakening, the mind slowing into confusion. Water is as vital as sharp stone. A young one digs into the earth with a stick, pulling free roots that twist pale and bitter. They are not a feast, but they will quiet the belly in lean hours. Another cracks open a bone saved from a past kill, striking it with heavy stone until the marrow seeps out. Thick, greasy, it clings to the fingers and lips, leaving a taste that lingers. Fat is fuel, and every fragment matters. You gather what you can carry. A bundle of flakes wrapped in leaves, a gourd of water slung in a woven sling, a strip of dried sinew tuft between your teeth. Each item adds weight, but the weight is welcome. It is the measure of readiness. The older male shows you another trick. From a charred log saved from a lightning fire, he scrapes blackened wood into a hollow bone. Smoke no longer curls from it, yet when he exhales softly across the embers trapped inside, a faint glow stirs. Not flame, not yet, but the memory of fire. You lean closer, eyes wide. Fire is not yours to command, not truly, but sometimes it can be carried, coaxed, kept alive. It is fragile, more fragile even than stone. He presses the bone into your hands, heavy, fragile, filled with a quiet power. You clutch it carefully, the faint warmth against your palm a secret promise against the night's cold. The others move in a quiet rhythm, each task known, each motion steady. There are no words, no plans spoken aloud, yet the group prepares as if bound by a single thought. You feel it in your chest, in the slow rise of anticipation, the low hum of purpose. The sun begins to rise. Pale light spills across the valley, pushing back the shadows. The grasses shimmer with dew, each blade a silver thread. You breathe deeply, the air cool and wet in your lungs. The day stretches before you, filled with distance yet unseen, effort yet unspent. When the leader rises, shoulders squared, the others fall into stillness. The tools are ready. The gourds are filled. The marrow has been eaten, the roots divided. Nothing more can be done here. You touch once more the stone bundle at your side, the gourd on your shoulder, the warm bone of embers in your hand. These are the costs you carry. Not coins, not trade, but weight, labor, risk. Each item is a piece of survival drawn from earth, shaped by hand. The older male meets your eyes once more. He nods, slow and certain, then turns his gaze toward the horizon where the herd has gone. His lesson is complete. The rest is yours. The wind lifts, brushing against your skin, carrying with it the mingled scents of grass and dust, faint smoke, and the musk of animals far ahead. It is time. You shift the weight of your tools, straighten your body, and breathe again. The chase will begin soon, but for now you stand in readiness. Grounded, supplied, part of a lineage that has always turned stone and water and fire into life. The morning rises slow and pale, the valley lifting itself from night. The grass bends under the weight of dew, each blade heavy with water that glitters faintly in the first light. The air is cool, almost tender, and every breath you take fills your chest with damp sweetness. It will not stay long, the sun will burn it away. But for this moment it feels like the earth is blessing you with calm before the strain ahead. Those who will run stand ready, their tools bound, their gourds tied, their bodies restless with the quiet impatience of endurance. But before the steps carry you away, there is the turn backward. Always the turn. The mother sits with her child pressed against her side. The little one's fingers clutch at the strands of her hair, eyes wide, not yet old enough to know the weight of departure, but old enough to feel the tension in the air. The mother's gaze finds you steady, almost stern. She does not ask you to stay. She knows the hunger too well. Yet she does not send you off lightly. You step toward her, the earth soft beneath your feet. When you crouch, the child leans away at first, uncertain, then slowly reaches for your hand. The small grip is warm, almost fragile, but insistent. You let the child's fingers wrap around yours, a wordless knot of connection. The mother unfastens something from her side, a small bundle of dried grass, bound tightly with sinew, pressed together until it forms a pouch. She places it in your palm. Inside, are seeds and crushed leaves with a bitter taste that quiets thirst when water runs low. She has saved them, not for herself but for you. You feel the weight of it, light, yet heavy with care. No words pass, only her eyes holding yours for a long breath. You nod once, slow, the pouch pressed to your chest. Then you rise, The older female waits a short distance away, her body drawn inward with age, her limbs slower than the rest. She will not run. Her world is smaller now, the patch of shade where she sits, the roots she digs, the child's laughter near her side. Still, when you approach, she looks up with a sharpness that cuts through the years. Her gaze is not soft, but it holds memory of hunts past, of survival bought with sweat and chance. She lifts her hand, crooked fingers trembling slightly. When you extend yours, she presses a rough piece of ochre into your palm. It is no tool, no weapon, just a small red stone worn smooth by her touch over many seasons. You do not know if she kept it for its color, or for the way it felt in her hand during long nights, but you understand it is hers, and now it is yours. The stone is warm from her body. Her hand lingers a moment on yours, the skin dry, the touch light but grounding. Then she releases you, folding back into herself as if the gift has spent the last of her strength. You tuck the ochre carefully into the fold of your pouch. When you return to the waiting group, the air has shifted. The ones who stay behind are already settling into stillness, the mother humming softly into her child's hair, the elder folding her arms against the cool. Their world is here, rooted in shade and survival. Yours is forward into distance, into risk. The leader glances once toward them, then toward the horizon. His face reveals nothing, but his stance speaks enough. The herd will not wait. The sun will climb, and with it, heat and thirst. You breathe deeply, filling your lungs with the last of the cool air. The scent of grass, faint smoke, and the salt of sweat clings to you. These are the smells of home, the ones you carry even as your feet prepare to leave them. There is no great farewell, no cry, no wave. Just the quiet rhythm of bodies turning, some toward rest, others toward the long run. You feel the seeds in your pouch, the ochre stone against your hip, the ember bone still warm in your hand. Each one is a tether, a reminder of those who remain. You step into line with the others. The earth is cool under your feet, the grasses brushing your calves. For a final moment, you look back. The mother's head is bent, her child's small hand tangled in her hair. The elder's eyes are half closed, her body folded into the day. They do not watch you go, but their presence holds you still, anchors in the shifting current of life. Then you turn, and with the group around you, you walk forward. The sound of feet against soil rises in soft rhythm, steady as a heartbeat. The valley opens ahead, wide and waiting. The first steps are slow, more walk than run. The earth is cool beneath your feet, still holding the dampness of dawn. Grass leans against your calves, leaving streaks of dew that cling before drying almost at once. Each step feels deliberate, a quiet shifting from stillness into movement. The leader sets the pace. His strides are long but not hurried, his chest rising with steady rhythm. You know the wisdom in this: a chase does not begin in frenzy. It begins with patience, with the body's quiet endurance, saving strength for the long miles ahead. The others fall into line without command. Breath, footsteps, and the faint rattle of gourds create a rhythm. At first it is uneven. A scrape of stone here, a stumble there. But slowly it settles, becoming something like a heartbeat spread across many bodies. The sun climbs, its light pours across the rift valley, washing the grasses in gold, then bleaching them pale. Heat gathers on your skin, beads of sweat forming at the base of your neck. The cool dampness of morning fades quickly, replaced by dryness that cracks against your lips and fills your throat with thirst. You lift the gourd once, sipping sparingly. The water is warm already, touched by the sun, but it soothes the roughness in your mouth. You know better than to drink deep. The body must learn to want and still continue. Ahead, the herd moves. They are distant shadows at first, faint shapes against the horizon. yet you can sense their presence more than see it. The faint musk on the breeze, the shifting of grass where they pass, the occasional echo of hooves striking hard ground. They are not yet afraid. That will come. Beside you runs a younger male, lean and wary. His breath is quick, his movements restless. He glances often toward the herd, his eyes bright with eagerness. He runs too fast in bursts, then slows, then pushes again, as if his body has not yet learned the patience of endurance. Once he stumbles, and you hear the sharp rasp of his breath as he recovers. You do not speak, but you fall slightly closer to him, letting your own steady rhythm become a guide he cannot ignore. After a while, his steps begin to match yours. On your other side runs a female older than you, her hair bound tightly back, her face calm. She carries nothing extra, only the essentials: a stone flake, a gourd, a strip of sinew tied around her waist. Her pace is measured, her eyes fixed not on the herd but on the ground beneath her feet, scanning for signs. A broken stem, a hoofprint pressed into damp soil. She is not loud in her presence, but solid, steady. You feel comfort in her nearness. The sun climbs higher, burning down. Heat shimmers off the land, turning the air itself into a wavering veil. The earth grows hard, each step striking dust upward in small clouds that cling to your legs, your throat, your eyes. The rhythm of the group falters at times, but always regathers. Step, breath, dust. Step, breath, dust. Your body begins to ache. The muscles of your legs throb, your chest burns with the steady draw and push of air. Yet you do not stop. The pain is not a command to quit. It is the language of the body reminding you of effort. You accept it, letting it wash over you, then fade into the rhythm. Far ahead, the herd quickens. Their shapes ripple in the distance, flashes of movement against the dry plain. They know now that something follows. Their run is swift, powerful, but you do not chase with frenzy. You run with time. The younger male glances toward you again, sweat streaking his face, chest heaving. This time he does not surge ahead. He stays near, his breath aligning with yours. The older female beside you lifts a hand briefly, pointing toward a line of broken grass ahead, a fresh trail. Together, silently, you adjust, following her lead. The group stretches thin, some falling back, others pressing forward, but the rhythm holds. You are not many bodies moving apart. You are one body spread across distance, bound by the same goal. As the day deepens, shadows shorten, and the heat presses harder. The earth feels sharp beneath your feet now, every stone and thorn biting into the tough skin. Dust clings to your tongue, your throat. Sweat runs down your back, soaking into the sinew strap at your waist. Still you run. Every step away from the place you left feels heavier, but also truer. The pouch of seeds presses against your side. The ochre stone rests warm against your hip, the ember bone still nestled carefully in your sling. These are reminders of the ones who remain behind, their presence carried with you. Even as the distance grows, the herd runs, you run. The valley stretches wide between, endless yet closing step by step. And as the rhythm of feet and breath continues, you realize you are no longer alone in the chase. Two companions hold the line beside you, one restless but learning, one steady and watchful. Their presence is not spoken, but it steadies you. The departure is no longer just your own. The ground changes first. What was once smooth, hard-packed soil begins to break into scattered stones. Your feet strike sharp edges, each step a sting that climbs into your legs. The rhythm falters. Some stumble, others curse low in their throats. Though no words are formed, dust rises thicker here, choking the breath, clinging to your lashes. The herd's trail remains clear, fresh hoofprints pressed into the earth, grasses flattened where bodies passed. The older female points again, her hand sweeping low to show the way. You follow, trusting the signs as much as your eyes. The younger male beside you struggles, his pace uneven on the rough stones. Once he cuts his foot, the skin opening, leaving a streak of red across the pale dust. He grimaces, biting down on the pain, and pushes forward. You slow your pace just slightly, not enough to stop, but enough to let him feel the steadiness of your steps beside his. Then the land opens wide again, flat, shimmering with heat. The sun is high now, fierce, pressing down until every breath feels like fire. The air wavers above the soil, bending light into ghostly shapes. The herd is there, faint, distant, shadows dancing in the shimmer. Always ahead, never near. Your throat burns. You sip from your gourd, the water warm and thin. A few drops spill against your chin, rolling down like tiny rivers before vanishing into dust. You long for more, but you close the gourd and press on. Water is weight, and it must last. The heat is relentless. Sweat stings your eyes, runs down your back, soaks the sinew at your waist until it rubs raw against your skin. The earth beneath your feet grows hot enough that you feel it even through calloused soles. Each step is effort now, each breath a battle. At last, a river cuts across the land, narrow but swift, its surface gleaming under the sun. Relief stirs through the group. The herd has already crossed, hoofprints pressed deep into the mud, water splashed high on the banks. You kneel, plunging your hands into the current. The water is cool, rushing fast, tasting of earth and stone. You drink deeply, then force yourself to stop, to rise. Too much will slow you, twist your stomach. Around you, others do the same. Quick gulps, then back to movement. The younger male lingers a moment too long, drinking greedily. The older female touches his shoulder firm and pulls him away. He stumbles but obeys, his breath ragged. You see in his face the first flicker of doubt, the question unspoken. Can I do this? Beyond the river, the land hardens again. Thorn scrub rises, tangling around your legs, scratching at your skin. Branches claw at your arms, your face, drawing lines of blood. You push through, each step tearing free from grasping twigs. The herd has passed this way. 2 broken branches, leaves torn and scattered. You follow. At last, the scrub thins, giving way to woodland. Tall trees stretch above, their shade a gift. The air here is cooler, shadows dappling the ground. You breathe easier, the heat easing for a moment. The sounds of birds echo faintly, a reminder that life here is not only chase and hunger. Yet the woodland slows you. Roots twist beneath the soil, hidden until they catch your foot and send you stumbling. The younger male falls once, catching himself with his hands, his face streaked with dirt. He rises, breath harsh, eyes wide with strain. You meet his gaze briefly, steadying him with your own. He nods once, jaw tight, and keeps moving. The herd is quieter here. Their hooves do not strike so loudly against soil softened by leaves. You smell them more than you hear them. The musky tang, the faint sweetness of grass torn by their teeth. Always near, never caught. Doubt creeps in with the shadows. The distance feels endless. Each new stretch of land brings struggle, stones, heat, river, thorns, roots. The herd remains ahead, tireless, untouchable. You wonder for the first time whether this chase can end in success, or whether it will drain you into emptiness. But then the older female ahead of you pauses, crouching low. She touches the ground, fingers pressing into a hoofprint still wet with mud from the river's spray. She glances back, her eyes meeting yours. The herd is close. Your chest still burns, your legs still ache, your skin still stings with sweat and cuts. But you lift your head. The landscape is not enemy alone. It shapes you, teaches you. Each shift has forced you to bend, to adapt, to endure. You press forward, the doubt still whispering, but the rhythm of steps begins again. The chase continues. The run stretches on, hours pass, though you do not count them. Time is measured only in breath, in steps, in the rise and fall of the herd's shadow on the horizon. Your legs ache with every stride. Muscles burn not in sharp bursts but in the deep, steady throb that settles into bone. Your chest rises and falls like a drum, the air harsh in your throat, raw with dust. Sweat no longer runs freely. It dries as quickly as it forms, leaving your skin tight, coated in salt. Hunger presses low in your belly. It is not the sharp hunger of a missed meal, but the deep, hollow kind that spreads into weakness. Each step feels heavier, as if the earth itself drags at your feet. The pouch of seeds given to you rests against your hip. You know they are for later, for when thirst gnaws, but you take one between your fingers now, pressing it to your tongue. Bitter, small, yet it gives you a moment's focus, a reminder of the mother who placed it in your hand. The herd is closer, but not close enough. Their pace falters at times, a stumble, a break in formation, then gathers again stronger. They are fast, but not endless. You tell yourself this, though your body whispers doubt. The younger male stumbles again. His foot drags in the dust, and he nearly falls. His breath comes harsh, ragged. He clutches at his side, where a stitch bites deep. He growls low, frustrated, but the sound is thin. You slow slightly, your steps falling in rhythm with his. He glares once at you, as if your steadiness shames him. But then the older female draws closer too, her pace unbroken. She reaches out and touches his chest lightly with her fingertips, then presses her hand to her own ribs, just below her lung. She breathes deep, slow, exhaling with a hiss. You watch her. She is showing him how to breathe through the pain. Not shallow and frantic, but long, deep, steady. She does it again, exaggerated, her chest lifting, her shoulders dropping. The young one tries. His breath catches at first, but then it lengthens, steadies. The stitch loosens. His steps fall back into rhythm. You take the lesson too, though your own chest burns. You draw in air deeper, slower, filling your lungs. The pain shifts, dulls, becomes part of the rhythm rather than a breaking point. The ache does not vanish, but it bends to you. The ground ahead tilts upward, a slow rise that stretches into the distance. Each step grows heavier on the incline. Your thighs strain, your calves tremble, yet you press forward. The herd slows here too, their pace breaking. For a moment, you glimpse them more clearly. The flick of tails, the steam rising from their flanks, the awkward stumble of one young antelope. They are tiring just as you are. You swallow, throat dry. The gourd at your side feels heavy, but you resist it. Instead, you watch the older female again. She stops briefly near a low shrub, snapping a stem, chewing it. The sap glistens on her lips, bitter and sharp. You copy her, tearing a stem, chewing slowly. The taste is harsh, almost painful, but it floods your mouth with moisture, tricking your body into ease. The hunger dulls, the thirst quiets. It is a small trick, simple, yet it feels like fire in the darkness, a way to keep moving when the body begins to falter. The young one catches your eye, nodding slightly, his breath steadier now. His pride is not gone, but his gratitude is there, unspoken. Still, the toll remains. Your feet blister against the heat-hardened ground, each step tearing skin. Your shoulders ache from the weight of your sling, the ember bones shifting with each movement. Your eyes blur with sweat, forcing you to blink constantly. Every sense is strained. The smell of dust thick, the sound of breath ragged, the texture of your own skin cracked and raw. But beneath it all is rhythm. Step, breath, step. The pain becomes part of it, woven into the movement like drumbeats in a song. And then you see it, a sign. Ahead, one of the herd falters. Its stride is shorter, its head lowered. The others press around it, uneasy. They are strong but not endless. The body complains, yet the chase continues. Because you know now, It is not only strength that carries you forward. It is knowledge. The way to breathe through the stitch. The way to chew the bitter stem. The way to endure not by fighting pain, but by folding it into the run. You keep moving, slower inside, but steady outside. The toll is great, but you pay it with every step. The sun has slipped past its highest point. Shadows stretch longer now, thin and sharp across the plain. The air is no cooler, but the light shifts softer, tinged with gold. The herd still runs ahead, slower now, broken into smaller clumps. Their bodies glisten with sweat, dark streaks on hide. You know they weaken, just as you weaken. The earth beneath your feet feels different. Not the hard, packed dust of the morning, but softer here, looser, the kind that grips at your toes and steals your step. Each footfall sinks slightly, dragging. The smell rises, sharp, dry grass crushed beneath, the faint musk of animals that passed earlier. Behind you, a sound changes. The younger male. His breath has turned ragged again. Not quick and shallow as before, but uneven, like something deep inside has broken rhythm. His steps falter, once, twice. Then he stumbles to his knees. You slow, then stop. The others pause as well, forming a loose half circle. His hands press to the ground, fingers splayed wide, digging into dust as if to hold himself upright. But his shoulders slump, his chest heaves. His face is set tight with pain. The older female crouches near him, not touching at first, only watching. Her hand hovers, then settles lightly on his back. Between his shoulders, her face shows no surprise. She has seen this before. Many times, perhaps, he tries to rise. His knees shake, he falls again. His growl of frustration carries low, almost more animal than human. He pounds once on the ground with his fist, a puff of dust rising. Then he sits back, shoulders slumping, head bowed. His chest still heaves, but slower now, not in rhythm with running, but with defeat. The others wait. There is no anger, no loud command to rise. Only silence, broken by wind. This is the way of the chase. Some go on, some do not. The older female pulls a small piece of meat from the sling at her side. Dried hard, precious, and places it near him. A gift or a farewell. He does not lift his eyes. She lingers only a moment, then rises, looking ahead. You stand still, your own body swaying with exhaustion. Something inside you twists, tightens. You want to call him up, to push him forward, but no words come. You know the truth, each step must be his own. If he cannot rise now, he cannot rise at all. He will remain here, alone with his weakness, and perhaps with the strength to walk back, if he chooses. Or not. The group shifts forward again. Dust clings to your skin as you move. But your chest feels heavy in a new way, not only with breath. A weight in your thoughts now presses more than the ache in your legs. Why do you run? Why do you keep moving, when every part of your body begs for stillness, when the herd always seems just beyond reach? Is it only the promise of meat, of firelit feasting, or is it something more, a drive deeper than hunger, older than speech? You cannot answer yet. The dust chokes you, the sun presses down, the sound of hooves carries faintly ahead. But the question remains, pulsing in your mind with each step. The loss lingers. The space where he ran beside you feels empty, like a missing heartbeat in the rhythm of the chase. The silence of his absence says more than words could. Still you run. The herd is weaker. You are weaker. Yet you move forward, carrying not only your own weight, but the memory of his collapse and the question it carved into you. Why? The earth rolls on beneath your feet, a vast, unbroken expanse of grass and stone. The light has shifted again, not yet evening, but leaning toward it. The sun angles lower, painting long shadows of your group across the plain. Where there were once 5 figures, there are now 4. The gap is visible, though no one speaks of it. Your chest still heaves, breath rough and hot. but the rhythm holds. You have folded the ache into your stride as the older female taught. Yet each step feels heavier, not only with hunger, but with the memory of what was left behind. The young one's absence presses on your thoughts. You imagine him still sitting in the dust, head bowed, the strip of dried meat untouched at his side. You wonder if he rose again, walking back toward the river, or if he remains, still as a stone, waiting for the night to cover him. The herd is smaller now, scattered, broken. The antelope that faltered earlier stumbles again, lagging. You feel the draw, the pull of purpose returning, still far but nearer than before. The chase is working, as it always has, long before you and long after. Your tongue sticks to the roof of your mouth. The last drop from your gourd is gone, and your lips crack when you lick them. The salt sting burns. You swallow dry, but nothing comes. The older female signals a tilt of her head. She veers slightly off the main line of the chase toward a cluster of low trees. The others follow. You hesitate a moment, then turn with them. The herd does not escape. It is still ahead, slowed by exhaustion. The detour, if brief, but necessary. Among the trees, shadows cool the ground. The smell of damp earth lingers faintly here, sharp and promising. The female kneels, pushing aside leaves, exposing a shallow depression where water lingers from the last rain. Muddy but wet. She dips her fingers, brings a drop to her lips. Then she gestures. You kneel, cupping your hands, scooping carefully. The water is warm, gritty, tasting of earth, but it runs down your throat like relief itself. Each swallow is a renewal, a reminder that survival is not only chase but pause, not only strength, but knowing where to bend. You lean back, wiping mud from your chin. The others drink as well, sparingly. No words pass between you, but the silence feels fuller now, steadier. Even without the young one, the group holds. When you rise again, something in you is lighter. The ache remains, the hunger gnaws, but your body feels steadier. The memory of his collapse no longer pulls you down. Instead, it pushes you forward. You know now what it costs to stop, to let weakness root you to the earth. The herd reappears as you crest the rise. Their flanks heave, legs trembling. One lies down briefly, then rises again, forced by the others. The scent of them reaches you faintly, musky, sour, rich with sweat. Closer than before. Your stride lengthens. You do not run faster, but more certain. The question that haunted you, why do you run, has no single answer, but it does not matter. You run because you can, because to stop is to fade, because each step is the thread that ties you to those who came before and those who will follow. The wind shifts, carrying the herd's panic with it. Your own breath falls in rhythm with the ground, steady and strong. The loss behind you remains, but it no longer weakens, it sharpens. You will not stop. The land ahead rises, slow at first, then steep, until the horizon is a wall of stone and scrub. The herd has gone this way, their tracks pressed deep into the dust, each hoofprint fresh. You pause at the base of the slope, chest heaving, legs trembling. The others gather, their eyes on the same path. The climb will take more from you than the flat. But it is the only way forward. The incline stretches for perhaps a mile, though you do not count in miles. You count in breaths, in steps, in the ache of your legs as they lift, again and again, against gravity's pull. Your stride shortens. Your pace slows, but still you move upward. The air thins as you climb. Each breath feels sharper, cooler. The heat of the plain falls away slightly, replaced by a stirring breeze. It carries the scent of stone, dry, mineral, ancient. The grass grows sparser here, replaced by thorny bushes that scratch at your legs as you pass. The herd struggles too. You see it in the scuff marks on stone, in the droppings scattered more thickly. They are tiring. You are tiring. The chase has narrowed to its true shape. Who will endure longer? Halfway up, your legs burn as if fire lives inside the muscle. Your shoulders ache from the sling that drags across them. The ember, bone rattles faintly with each step, its weight small yet insistent. You think of the one who faltered. How easy it would be to stop here, to let your body fold against the stone, to surrender. But the older female does not slow. Her back is straight, her steps steady. The two others follow her rhythm, never rushing, never breaking. You steady yourself in their cadence, step, breath, step, breath. The pain remains, but it no longer feels like a wall. It feels like the price of crossing. At the crest, the land opens wide again. You stand on the ridge, chest heaving, sweat drying to salt on your skin. Below, the world changes. The plain you left behind stretches far, pale and shimmering. Ahead, the land dips into a basin where the air looks heavier, blurred with heat. A river cuts through the basin, glinting faintly, a thread of silver. The herd has gone down this way. You see them, small shapes against the water, struggling to drink, to recover. It is another 3 miles to reach them. Your body protests. 3 miles feels endless after the climb, but retreat is no longer possible. The slope behind is too steep to descend safely at speed, and the herd, your prize, is in sight. The older female gestures, pointing down toward the basin. Her hand trembles slightly, though her face remains calm. She feels the same tall as you, though she does not show it. The group begins the descent. The ground is loose, covered with stones that shift underfoot. Each step demands care. A twisted ankle here would end more than the chase. It would end survival. You place your feet deliberately, pressing into the slope, letting your arms spread slightly for balance. Dust rises in thin clouds, stinging your eyes. The river grows closer. Its sound reaches you at last. Faint at first, then louder, the rush of water against stone, steady and unbroken. It is the first sound in hours not born of breath or hoof. The smell of wet earth drifts up to meet you, promising relief. When you reach the basin floor, the heat strikes again. Heavier, thicker, pressing against your chest. But the sight of the water holds you steady. The herd is there, drinking in desperation, their bodies trembling. You stop at the riverbank. The water is shallow, only knee-deep, but it runs fast over smooth stones. You crouch, plunging your hands in, lifting the coolness to your lips. It shocks you, biting cold against cracked lips and parched throat. Relief floods you with each swallow, though the current pulls hard at your fingers. The others drink too. No one speaks. The silence of the chase still holds. Then, across the water, you see it. One of the antelope falters again, its legs buckling as it tries to rise from the bank. The others move around it, restless, nervous. The chase has brought you here, to this threshold, a ridge behind, a river at your feet, the herd weakening just ahead. There is no turning back now. You lift your head, water dripping from your chin, chest stilling as your breath slows. The threshold is crossed from plain to ridge, from ridge to basin, from hunter to something more. The land itself has tested you, and still you move forward. The chase continues. The basin floor is heavy with heat. The air does not move, it hangs around you, thick and unmoving, like a weight you cannot shed. The smell of wet earth from the river lingers on your skin, but it does not cool you. The water you drank is already gone from your mouth, drawn out by sweat, leaving only salt. The herd has moved again. Their hooves cut through the soft ground, splattering mud, but now their stride wavers with each push. They are close, so close. Yet your body refuses the thought of running further. Your legs feel hollow, as if the bone itself has melted away. Each step sends a throb through your calves, your thighs, your hips. The blisters on your feet tear open, raw against the stones. Every breath scrapes your throat like sand. You push forward still, But the rhythm is gone, no longer the steady step, breath step. Now your stride is broken, uneven. Your chest clenches, refusing to draw deep air. The ground sways faintly beneath you. You stumble. Your hand strikes the earth to steady yourself. The dust is hot, scorching against your palm. You remain there for a moment, bent low, chest heaving, sweat dripping from your chin onto the soil. The others notice. They stop watching. The older female steps closer. Her shadow falls across you, thin and sharp in the sun. She does not reach down to lift you. She waits, her breath steady, her eyes unblinking. You want to rise. Your body does not answer. The silence presses in, not only around you, but inside you. A silence of will, of purpose, as though something has been extinguished. The herd's shapes blur in the distance, wavering in the heat. You know they weaken. You know you are close. Yet a voice within whispers enough. Let them go. Let the earth take you down. Let your body fold into stillness. You close your eyes. Darkness is cooler than light. For a moment you imagine lying flat, letting the soil cover you, letting the sun fade behind your closed lids. But sound reaches you, faint, soft. Not the rush of water, not the thud of hooves. A rhythm. The older female's breath. Slow, deep, even. You hear it through the silence, steady as stone. You force your eyes open. She is still there, standing above you, chest rising and falling. She does not move, yet her breath speaks louder than words. Step, breath, step, breath. The others stand behind her waiting. They do not urge. They do not turn away. They are still. You plant your hand against the earth. The soil is rough, biting into your palm, grounding you. Slowly, your knee lifts, your foot braces, your body rises. Each motion feels as if it might break you, but it does not. When you stand, the world tilts, spins, then steadies. Your breath is ragged, but you find it again matching hers. Long, slow, deep. The wall is not gone. It still looms inside you, pressing against every muscle, every thought. But you have found a crack in it, just wide enough for one step. The herd moves again, you move too. Not strong, not swift, but forward. The silence remains heavy as stone, but you carry it with you now, not beneath you. The chase endures. The herd has slowed. Their hooves drag in the mud at the river's edge, their heads low, their flanks dark with sweat. They are near collapse. And yet, as you follow, your own strength feels as fragile as theirs. Each step is borrowed, each breath a demand. The sun tilts lower now, not yet touching the horizon but leaning westward. The light softens, though the air is still hot, pressing. Your vision blurs at the edges, shapes wavering. Then a stone shifts under your foot. You stagger, the sling across your shoulder sliding forward. The ember bone tumbles free, striking the ground with a hollow sound. It rolls to a stop in the dust. You crouch slowly, picking it up. The bone is warm from the sun, smooth against your palm, and inside, rests the ember. Fragile, hidden, waiting. You hold it a moment, fingers pressed to the tiny hollow. The older female has paused nearby. She kneels, gathering a few dry twigs from beneath a thorn bush. She does not speak, but you understand. The chase is long and the night will soon fall. Without fire, the chill will undo what the sun began. You kneel beside her, setting the bone carefully in the dirt. With practiced hands, she scrapes the inside, drawing out the ember with a sliver of bark. It glows faintly, orange, fragile, alive. The smell is sharp, smoky, filling the air with promise. Together, you place dry grass around it. You blow gently, your breath slow and careful. The ember flares, then dims, then flares again. At last, a thin flame rises, trembling in the breeze. The group gathers close. They do not crowd, but they draw near enough that the warmth brushes each face, enough that the light paints shadows on tired skin. The crackle is soft, the smoke thin, but the flame steadies. You stretch your hands toward it, feeling heat seep into your cracked palms. The warmth is more than physical. It is memory, continuity, the thread that ties today to all the days before. This ember, this fire, has been carried not by you alone, but by countless others. It is a survival greater than any single chase. The older female drops a few more sticks onto the flame. She sits back, her shoulders easing for the first time today. The others sit too, silent, but the silence is no longer heavy. It feels like shelter. Your own breath steadies. Your chest loosens. The wall you struck earlier is not gone, but it has thinned, softened. The fire crackles, the warmth spreads, and your body remembers that survival is not only endurance, it is renewal. You look out across the basin. The herd still moves, faint shapes in the fading light. Tomorrow they may fall. Tonight you live. Tonight you have fire. The flame flickers, steady as a heartbeat. You breathe with it, slow and deep. The chase continues. Morning arrives cool, carrying the damp breath of the basin. The fire has burned to ash, leaving only faint warmth in the soil. You rise slowly, feeling the pull of tired muscles, but the ache is different now. Not sharp, not breaking. It is steady, familiar, as if your body has folded it into its own pattern. The herd's trail is clear in the dew-soaked grass. Hoofprints pressed deep, scattered droppings still steaming in the morning air. They moved through the night, slower now, less certain. You shoulder your sling, the ember, bone-wrapped carefully, and fall into step with the others. Your feet no longer stumble as they did before. The blisters remain, raw and burning, but you place each step with care, letting the earth guide you. When the ground slopes, you lean forward. When it softens, you shorten your stride. Without thought, your body adjusts. The older female's rhythm becomes your rhythm. The two others match as well. No signal is given, but your breaths rise and fall together, forechests lifting and lowering in quiet unison. What was once effort now feels like a pattern older than language. A communal pulse moving across the land. You no longer watch the herd constantly. You trust their trail, the broken grass, the faint musk that lingers on the air. Your eyes lift instead to the horizon, to the shapes of trees, the movement of birds startled into flight. Each sign tells you where the herd bends, where it slows. You are not chasing blindly anymore. You are reading the land, and the land answers. Hunger gnaws still, but it has become a companion rather than an enemy. You learn to time it, to let it sharpen your focus when the body grows heavy. When the ache grows too strong, you chew bitter stems or let seeds crack between your teeth. The taste is not pleasant, but the trick carries you forward. When the sun climbs high, you seek shade briefly, crouching near thorn trees where the air cools. The group shares silence as if it were food. No one asks for more than what is needed. The older female passes you a root once, fibrous and earthy, chewed slowly until your jaw aches. It steadies your stomach, and though you cannot thank her with words, your eyes linger on hers a moment longer. She nods, a gesture small, but full of meaning. The days pass this way. Step, breath, pause. Fire at night, pursuit by day. The chase is no longer frantic, it is measured patient. The herd weakens, and you grow stronger, not in body alone, but in the quiet knowledge of how to endure. You begin to notice small changes in yourself, the way your ears catch distant sound. The faint stumble of hooves, the rustle of dry grass, the way your eyes trace shadow and light, learning where water hides, where danger waits, the way your breath falls into rhythm with the earth itself. You are not only surviving now, you are adapting. The group feels different too. Where once each step was individual, now there is a bond that does not need words. When one slows, the others ease pace. When one finds food or water, it is shared. A nod, a touch on the arm, a steadying glance. These become the language you carry. The herd is smaller, its shapes fewer against the horizon. The chase is reaching its final shape, though you do not know how many more days it will take. Yet you feel no urgency. The rhythm holds. You are prepared for however long it must last. At night, you sit near the fire, watching sparks drift into the dark. The others sit close, shoulders touching lightly. You sense something here, in the quiet, that you are not alone in this world. That survival is not only your breath, your step, but the breath and step of all who run beside you. The firelight warms your face, the stars stretch endless above, and for the first time in many days, the ache in your chest loosens. You breathe deeply, quietly. With the others, the chase continues. But it no longer feels like a burden. It feels like belonging. The morning breaks with a stillness you have not felt before. The air is heavy, damp with a lingering mist that clings to the grass. You rise from the ashes of the fire and notice the tracks. Sharper now, pressed deep and unsteady. The herd is close. Your body feels both lighter and older. The long chase has worn grooves into your muscles, yet the rhythm carries you forward without effort. Hunger coils tight in your belly, sharper than ever, but your steps no longer falter. The land itself seems to be narrowing, funneling you and the others toward a conclusion that has waited many days. Birds circle low in the sky, dark wings tipping against the pale morning light. They are not your kind, but they are hunters too, and their presence stirs a tension in your chest. You know what it means. Something lies ahead. When the four of you crest the rise, the smell reaches you first. Not the musk of the herd, but a heavier scent, sour, metallic, clinging to the throat. Death. You find the herd scattered in the low basin. Their bodies are thin, ribs rising sharp beneath loose skin. One lies collapsed near the water's edge, its legs folded beneath it, eyes dull. The others linger nearby, moving sluggishly, their strength almost gone. The chase is nearly finished, though not by your hand alone. The drought has taken them too. The grass is dry here, the water shallow and clouded with mud. What you sought has been worn down by the same forces that shaped you. The hunt was never yours alone. The land itself has hunted them as well. The older female crouches beside the fallen animal, stone tool in hand. She works quickly, efficiently, separating hide from flesh. The others join, and you follow the motions now familiar. The smell of blood fills the air, thick and raw, mingling with the scent of mud and dying grass. This is the moment you imagined during the long hunger. The arrival, the kill, the satisfaction of need finally met. Yet as you chew the stringy flesh warm and tough between your teeth, you feel no triumph, only quiet. The food fills the hollow space in your stomach, but it does not erase the long days, the empty nights, the faces of those who did not walk here with you. The birds gather closer bold now, their cries sharp and grating. They wait for scraps, for the bones left behind. Hyenas lurk at the edges of the basin, their eyes glowing in the dim light, patient as stone. You are not the only one who has arrived. You look at the herd again. Their eyes are dull, their bodies worn thin. The chase is over, but not in the way you imagined. This is not victory. It is survival, and survival carries no glory. When night falls, the fire burns again. Your body is fed, your limbs heavy with meat and marrow, yet your mind drifts. You stare into the flames and think of the endless steps, the countless breaths, the pain that became rhythm. You think of how the chase has changed you, how the land has shaped you into something quieter, harder, more enduring. The herd is finished, but you are not. The Rift Valley stretches beyond this basin, with more rivers, more grasslands, more migrations yet to come. The journey does not end here. It only changes shape. The fire crackles softly, shadows shifting across the others' faces. For a moment, you allow yourself stillness. The chase has ended, but the path continues. You do not know what lies ahead, only that you will walk it, step by step, breath by breath. The land has tested you, and you remain. The days after the hunt settle into a quieter rhythm. The herd is gone, thinned by drought and distance, but their absence leaves behind something else. A new shape to your life. You no longer follow with desperation, you move with choice. In the cool of morning, you kneel at the edge of a shallow stream. The water is muddy, but you sift the surface with careful hands, scooping out enough to drink. You remember the bitter taste of thirst, the sharp ache that once hollowed your body, and you turn to the youngest of the group. She crouches nearby, hesitant, her hands too small to gather much. You dip your hand again, cupping the water, and hold it out. She leans forward, lips brushing your palm, and drinks. It is a simple act, but it binds you to her. The chase taught you how to endure, but now that endurance becomes something you can share. Later, when the sun is high and the land glimmers with heat, you show another the trick of bitter stems. How to chew them slowly, to quiet the stomach when food is scarce. He grimaces at the taste, his face tightening, but you nod, urging him on. He learns as you once did. In his eyes you see your own hunger, your own struggle, now eased by a knowledge passed from one body to another. At night the fire is smaller. The meat is nearly gone, bones cracked and emptied of marrow. Still, the firelight feels different now. Not a desperate ward against the dark, but a place where your small group gathers with quiet trust. You sit close, shoulders brushing, sharing warmth. The older female sharpens a flake of stone, her motions steady, and when she finishes she presses it into your hand. A gift, a sign that you are no longer only following, you are part of the circle. The land stretches wide as ever, but it feels less vast, less crushing. You have learned to read it. The sway of grass in the wind, the color of leaves hinting at hidden water, the flight of birds leading toward life. These are not mysteries anymore. They are patterns waiting to be seen. One evening, as the sky burns red with the setting sun, you walk a little apart from the group. The air is warm, the earth beneath your feet dry and cracked. You stop, listening. A rustle in the distance, faint but steady. The movement of animals grazing in the twilight. You know the sound now. You know how far, how many, which way they bend. You turn back to the group and gesture, pointing toward the sound. The others look, then rise, trusting your lead. It is not words, but it is enough. You have become more than one who follows. You are one who guides. That night, as you settle again by the fire, you feel a shift within you. The hunger is still there, the uncertainty, the endless challenge of survival. But now there is also something quieter, stronger. You are no longer only shaped by the land. You are shaping how others move through it. The fire's glow warms your face. The youngest rests her head against your shoulder, her breath slow and steady. The older female watches you with calm eyes, her flake of stone now in your hand. Around you the Rift Valley breeze. Wide grasslands, hidden water, distant herds. You have taken your first steps in a new world. Not as one alone, but as part of something greater. And though you do not have the words to name it, you sense its shape. It is survival, yes. But it is also belonging. The days stretch onward, each one echoing the last. Walking, watching, pausing, waiting. Yet something has changed. The endless ache of hunger and the sharp edge of fear are no longer constant companions. They rise and fall like the wind, but they do not rule you. One evening, when the heat begins to lift, you gather with the others near a patch of acacia trees. Their branches cast long shadows, and the air beneath them is cooler, tinged with the faint sweetness of blossoms. You rest there, your body heavy, but for once not broken. The older female digs carefully at the base of a thorn bush, her stone flake turning soil aside. Soon she lifts out a tuber, pale and knotted, its scent earthy and clean. She hands it to you. You split it with another flake and pass the pieces around. The taste is bland, fibrous, but it fills the mouth in a way that feels different, not desperate, but satisfying. Later, as dusk settles, you sit by the fire. The flames rise gently, their warmth licking against your skin. The youngest hums softly, a low rhythm that has no shape of words, only tone. It vibrates in her chest, a simple sound of comfort, and without thinking, you echo it. A breath, a murmur. The others join, each voice weaving with the next. The sound is small, fragile, yet it binds you together, hanging in the night like thread across darkness. It is not a song, not as those who will come later might know it, but it is something close, a shared sound, a shared breath. For a moment, you feel the ache in your chest ease. The stars stretch high, sharp and countless. You lean back against the earth, feeling its roughness beneath your shoulders. The fire pops, sending sparks upward to join the constellations. The air smells of smoke and dry grass, but also of something gentler. The faint sweetness of roasted roots, the musk of familiar bodies near your own. Your eyes drift to the youngest, curled close to the flames. Her breathing is steady, her face calm in the glow. You realize slowly that she is safe tonight, not because the world is gentle. It never is, but because of you. Because of all of you. The reward is not treasure. It is not triumph. It is this: a full belly for a night, the hum of voices together, the warmth of fire, the soft weight of belonging pressing against the sharp edges of the world. You breathe deeply, the air cool in your lungs. The fire crackles, the stars shimmer, and for a fleeting moment you feel not only alive, but at peace. It is enough. The fire has burned low. Only faint orange glows in the ash, pulsing like a heartbeat. Around you, the group sleeps, their breaths steady, their bodies curled close. You sit awake, staring into the dark beyond the flames' reach. The savanna stretches silent, a vast sea of grass and shadow. The air is cool, tinged with the faint smell of earth cooling after the day's heat. Somewhere far off, a lion calls, its sound deep and rolling. Once that sound froze your chest, sharp with fear. Tonight it passes through you more gently, like the wind moving the grass. The danger is still there. It always will be. But you are no longer ruled by it. You think back to the long trail, the blistering sun, the empty days when water would not come, the hollow ache of hunger that gnawed at you like teeth. You remember stumbling, falling, dragging yourself upright again, and you remember those who did not rise. The ones who stayed behind when their strength gave out, or who turned back toward places already dry and bare. Their faces drift in your mind, soft and unfinished. They are not forgotten. You carry them still. Each step you take now is also theirs. Your fingers brush the stone flake at your side. Its edge is chipped from use, worn from cutting roots, scraping hides, splitting meat. Once it was only a tool. Now it feels like a record. Each mark a memory of survival, each scar on the stone a scar on you. You look at the youngest, sleeping near the coals. She breathes softly, her small frame rising and falling with the rhythm of dreams. You remember when her steps faltered, when her thirst nearly broke her. You had pressed water into her hands, bitter stems into her mouth. Now she sleeps without fear. You feel something stir in your chest, not pride, not yet, but a quiet knowing that your endurance became her safety. The stars arch above, countless, endless. You tilt your head back, following their scatter across the night. For a moment you feel the weight of time. Not only these days and nights, but something deeper. The Rift Valley has held your kind for longer than you can understand. Others walked here before you, leaving bones in the soil, footprints pressed into hardened ash. Lucy, small and ancient, walked these paths 3 million years before your feet touched them. You do not know her name, but you feel her presence, a shadow of kinship across time. You breathe slow and steady. The air is cool, the fire warm at your knees. You realize you have begun to measure distance not in steps, not in days, but in change. Each mile carved away the one you were before and left behind the one you are now. Once, you were only a body moving through the world, hungry, tired, afraid. Now you are something more, a guide, a giver, a thread in a larger weave. The journey has taken, but it has also given. It has hollowed you out, but filled you with a new shape. You close your eyes, letting the sounds of the night fold around you. Insects buzzing, grass rustling, the faint crackle of ash. You remember the weight of absence of those who did not reach this fire. You honor them by staying, by breathing, by carrying their steps inside your own. The past lingers, the present holds, the future waits. You are all of it at once. And though the road is not finished, you rest tonight with a deeper peace. You are not only surviving, you are becoming. The fire has nearly gone out, a faint shimmer of red beneath the ash. The night folds itself around you, cool and wide, the grass whispering in the dark. You draw closer to the warmth, feeling it fade against your skin, a gentle reminder that all things pass into stillness. Your body is heavy, but not broken. The long ache that once gnawed at you has softened into something steadier, like the low hum of earth beneath your feet. Hunger rests, thirst eases, and in their place is a quiet fullness, not of the belly, but of the spirit. The others sleep close, their bodies curled like roots at the base of a tree. You hear their breathing, each one slow, steady, blending with your own. It is a song of survival sung without words, carried in rhythm from chest to chest. You feel yourself part of it, not separate but joined, a single pulse moving through many. Above you, the stars burn steady, countless and calm. Their light travels across ages, across endless skies, to touch your face tonight. You do not have names for them, but you feel their presence, vast, eternal, older even than the bones of those who came before. You rest beneath them, a small flicker of life in the cradle of the Rift Valley, yet bound to their endless fire. You pull your arms around yourself, drawing warmth from your own body, as if wrapping in a blanket woven of skin and breath. The scent of smoke lingers on your hair, the cool earth presses firm beneath your back, and the air tastes faintly of ash and grass. The world holds you gently now, not as an enemy, but as a resting place. Your eyes close, the darkness behind them is soft, not empty, but full of quiet. You let go of the weight of steps, the hunger of days, the strain of the chase. You hold instead the memory of fire, of roots shared, of voices humming together in the night. The land will test you again. The sun will rise with heat, the rivers will dry, the herds will wander. But for this moment you are still. You are safe. You are enough. You breathe once more, slow and deep, as if the earth itself breathes with you. The air leaves your chest in a quiet sigh. You made it. And now you rest.